Hey guys, what's up? Back with another video. Got a few Christmas cookies there in the background. I went to a baseball card show in my area this past weekend. Picked up a few things. Thought I would show you what I got. I've been to the show before. They usually rotate through every 2 or 3 months or so. And I haven't been able to make it every time they've come through this year. But just when my schedule allows, I run up there and see what they have. And so I've seen a lot of these vendors before. I picked up a decent amount of stuff. Let me get this bag out of the way so it's not making a bunch of noise. All right, so I did get a pack. We'll see that in a minute. I'll try to run through these in order of how I acquired them. And so, like I said, this is a show that comes through to a local kind of conference room of a motel hotel in the area. And so they had, I don't know, 30, 35, 40 tables set up. I got there a little bit towards the end of the show, so maybe some of the better stuff was picked over, but I don't usually go for a lot of the high-end stuff. I try to go through and get some of the lower end. I don't really have the biggest budget of anyone out there. So these were 50% off. I picked up 3 cards from this gentleman, who is actually the person who sets the whole show up. I really like this. I don't really purchase a lot of these Panini products. Sparkled. I believe this is the Aqua Mitch Garver rookie card, numbered 23 out of 99. You can see on the back. This is his rookie. There you can see the 23 out of 99 maybe. From 2018 Spectra Baseball. And so for $2, actually I got all 3 of these cards for a combined $4. The second one, a guy who hasn't really made a big name for himself yet, but anytime you can get a rookie autograph, Andrew Stevenson, kind of a speedster outfield prospect, I believe, for the Washington Nationals. You can see here his stats, not that great, 158, I believe is what that says, 158 average and 57 at-bats. But I took a gamble, autograph rookie card for $2. And then the first Bowman Chrome of Dakota Hudson. And I always get him confused with Luke Weaver. And I'm pretty sure Dakota Hudson is still on the Cardinals. It's Luke Weaver who they traded to Arizona, along with Carson Kelly in the Goldschmidt trade. So all 3 of those for $4, I thought was a pretty nice way to start my day. The second gentleman I went to, let me go ahead and get these in the right order. I apologize. The second gentleman that I went to, I spent $10 for from him. He had a bunch of just young rookies, young prospects cards, and this is the most expensive one I bought from him, a $3, again, Panini Crusade. I believe this is the Ruby Red variation, $3, and this is numbered out of 199. I'm still pretty high on Eloy Jimenez. I know some people were a little disappointed with how his season went, but I've said this before in my videos. If you've watched the last 6 weeks of how he did, he was absolutely on fire and was just putting up big numbers. Carried my fantasy team actually to the championship. And then I got quite a few Victor Robles cards. He really came up and impressed a lot with his defense here. This one's numbered out of 299. Panini Select out of last year, 2018 Panini Select. This is the blue or aqua parallel. I really think his offensive numbers will pick up next year as he just gets more experience, more confidence hitting Major League pitching. These cards almost look the same, but they're not, right? They had to be from the same photographer, the same just seconds before the other one. These are 2 versions of Optic. This is obviously the pink parallel. I have these cards, just the regular rated rookie in Optic, but this one I believe over here is called the Glove Up, and this one is called the Glove Down. They look almost identical if you're not paying attention. So for $1 there, another these Bowman High Tech or Topps High Tech, I can't remember which release this is. Kind of opaque, you can see through them for $1. And then he had some Royce Lewis cards, which I haven't really invested a lot into Royce Lewis. Obviously here he's teamed up with Carlos Correa. But he was the MVP of the Arizona Fall League this past year, and it's all blurry there, but I believe this is from Bowman's Best. And so Royce Lewis, #1 overall pick a few years ago, Minnesota Twins shortstop prospect, MVP of the Arizona Fall League this fall. I'm looking for big things from him in the future. And then obviously the #1 prospect in baseball, Wander Franco. I don't have either one of these cards. I believe this is from Topps Heritage from this year. Not obviously the top value cards, but like I said, I don't have the budget to be blowing big time money on Wander Franco. So I picked up some of these lower end cards that I don't have of his back when he was with the Bowling Green Hot Rods there. I believe that was the AA affiliate for the Tampa Bay Rays. Okay, then the third guy I stopped by and talked to, he's a really nice guy. Had a lot of these Topps Holiday packs, or cards. He had a lot of boxes, actually. He said he had like 30-some boxes. He had the Eloy Jimenez for $3. For some reason, I was on a little bit of an Eloy kick this weekend. Didn't really get any Vladdies or Tatises. For some reason, I don't know. I just felt like going with Eloy this time. Oscar Mercado, Carter Kieboom, who came up a little bit this year, but good infield prospect. And then Chris Paddock, obviously, who was pretty impressive starting pitching for San Diego. I got all three of these rookies plus the Eloy for $4. So 4 rookie cards for $4. I thought was a pretty nice deal. Not bad at all. And then I picked up this pack. This is a hobby only exclusive. You can see the little hobby logo up here at the top. Bowman Draft 2019, a jumbo pack. Now he had some of the super jumbo packs that had like, I don't know, 100 cards in it or something. Guaranteed like one autograph for $75. I wasn't going to pay $75 for a pack. This is the jumbo pack, 32 cards. I'll open this up in another video. I don't want to take the time to do it. In this one, it'll make my video too long. You can see Adley Rutschman, and I believe that might be the #1 pick out of Cal, who went to the White Sox. I'm not sure. Andrew Vaughn, maybe? I'm not 100% sure on if that's really him or not. Anyway, that pack was like $22, which is a lot more than I usually would pay. But that was the same guy who I had pulled the 101 Nolan Arenado out of Topps Update. And so I like doing business with him. He's a super nice guy. And I thought I would try Bowman Draft. All right, I am almost done. There were 2 more vendors I talked to. There's a guy who, I picked up this, Joe Adell. I believe they're planning on maybe starting with the Major League team this spring with the Angels. Cole Calhoun, I believe, won't be back with the Angels. I could be wrong on that, but I've read where Angels executives, Angels baseball personnel are hoping that Joe Adell can find his way into right field to play alongside with Upton and Trout. And I really have high hopes for Joe Adell. So I actually traded this. This vendor has been looking for a certain card, and I thought I had found the one that he's looking for. So I kind of swapped, and he said, yeah, man, thanks for looking for me. Just pick out whatever you want. And I just went with Joe Adell because I'm really high on him. And then the last guy that I talked to. Now, this last guy that I talked to, man, I don't know if he's really a baseball card vendor. He had like oddball cards. He had football. He had just a big variety. And I was looking through his baseball box, and he had some of the prices just absolutely kind of off the wall. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but Topps makes like reprints of rookie cards and like sticks them in to some of their packs as like, hey, here's an iconic rookie card of, maybe it's the Trout 2011 Topps Update, or the Clayton Kershaw, or the Max Scherzer. And he had like, it's not even that valuable of a card. It's like an insert that's maybe worth $1, $2 at the most. And he had one of those of Justin Verlander priced for $15. Like he thought it was the legit Justin Verlander rookie card. And some of his other prices were off the wall. And so I could tell this guy wasn't really a baseball guy and didn't know as much about baseball. And so I was going through his box, and I found a card. I think I'll save it here for the back. I found a card that I could not believe was in there. And I was hoping that I could get it for a tiny, tiny price of what it's really worth. And so I had to find some other cards to kind of mix with it. So I just didn't ask him about this specific card. And it's not the Hunter Dozier. But here is a Hunter Dozier. I'm a Royals fan. And so he came up this year and really did well for them. He was a first round pick a number of years ago. I don't know the exact name of this refractor. I'm sorry. But this is the Topps Chrome. I can't remember the name of it. Special refractor, $2. Obviously not the most valuable card, but like I said, I was just looking for cards that I could kind of bundle together and say, hey, how much will you take for these? Because he didn't really have price tags. Obviously the Hunter Dozier had a $2 sticker on it, but none of these others had prices on it. And so like there was a Buster Posey rookie, Bowman paper. This is a gold version. Like this is even kind of a variation, the gold variation on the gold outline there. For Buster Posey, he had no price on that. This card was actually in a top loader, the gold Luke Weaver. Now this is the, I told you I get Luke Weaver and Dakota Hudson switched all the time. You can see here it's in black ink. It's kind of hard to tell. It's numbered out of 2017, 1251. Get my hand out of the way. 1251 out of 2017. There you go. The gold Luke Weaver. He won, I think, 13, 14 games for Arizona. Or maybe that was Dakota Hudson. I don't know. I get those two. And so here is a Rookie Sensations Mike Trout. This is an insert from like Topps Update from a couple years ago. It's not from the 2012 release. And then here's the card that I couldn't believe. And oh man, I think I messed up. I saw this card in there, and I had this card that I'm about to show you was in a penny sleeve. It wasn't even in a top loader, a hard plastic case like this. It was just in a sleeve like this Luke Weaver is, this plastic sleeve. And I'm like, how in the world is this card in here? And how in the world has this card sat here all day and no one has even asked him or purchased it? And so I just found these other cards to try to mix in there. And here it is. Look at this. 2014 Topps Update Mookie Betts Update Series. This is the blue Walmart parallel, and it's in nice shape. I mean, it's not going to be a PSA 10 or anything, but it was in nice shape. And I'm like, how in the world is this card in here? In a penny sleeve. It wasn't even in a plastic case. And so I asked the guy, I'm like, hey, these don't have prices on them. How much are you going to take on them? And he's like, well, and he was looking, he spread them out on the table. And I was hoping he'd shoot me a price like $10 or something. And maybe that's what I should have asked him. I should have, hey, will you take $10 or $15 for all these? And he's like, well, and he laid them all out. He said, okay, well, there's two. He's like, I know how much this is worth. I know this is okay. And he's like, all right. It's like, this is the only one I don't know the price for. Let me go ask some people. And I'm like, oh, no. And my heart just sank because I knew he was going to go find somebody in the actual room who knew exactly how much this was worth, and I'd be priced out of it. And so I kind of followed him in there, and he asked like 2 or 3 guys that I'd already talked to at some of the other tables, and one of them's like, it's the Walmart parallel. It's like a $10 card, and the other guy's like, I don't really know. And then he went over to another table, and a guy who has his own card store, the local card store in my area, who was just like, I don't really know, man. It's the Walmart blue version, but it's not graded, so I don't know. And you could tell that they didn't really, I don't want to say they didn't really want to help this guy out, but they were just kind of in a hurry. That they were trying to box stuff up. There was only like 30 minutes left in the show. And so I'm like, oh man, he's going to come back. He's going to give me this awesome price, and I'm going to just get a steal of a deal. And then he goes and asks one more guy, who whips out his phone, and I know exactly what he's doing. You know, he's going on eBay looking at the recently sold listings. And at the time, this card had been listed on eBay and had, there were a couple of people bidding on one for $40. And so he told the guys they were $40. And I'm like, oh, geez. So he came back and said, yeah, hey, man, this card's worth $40. Man, I didn't even know that. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you think? That's why I asked you about it? He's like, oh, man. And then he flipped it over, and he's like, I don't know why. And then he's like, oh, yeah, because it's Update Series. It's Update Series. That's why. And so he had really no clue what he had. But he's like, you know what? I'll let you have it for $30. These other cards are just worth like $5. You can have all this for $35. And I hemmed and hawed, and I almost didn't do it. I'm like, $35. Like I didn't really plan on spending that much, $30 on a card. But I thought this would be a good investment. I might go get it graded and then flip it and see if I can get a PSA 8 or 9. I don't think it's going to be a 10. There's some spots down here at the bottom that I can tell just maybe won't make it a 10. I don't think you can really see it. It's not going to focus very well. So I went ahead and purchased it. I may live to regret it, but for $30, I thought it'd be a good investment opportunity, especially if I can get it graded and get a decent grade and then maybe able to flip it. So there it is. Mookie Betts, Walmart Blue Parallel, sitting in, oh man, I almost forgot the worst part. The card was just in a sleeve like this. And so what he did, he took the Luke Weaver card, which was in that sleeve, and he was trying to like jam this Mookie Betts into the top loader at the same time. He was like trying to do this and jam it in there with the other card already in. And I'm like, oh, what are you doing? You're going to tear it up. And so I'm like, hey, you know what? Here, just let me take the Luke Weaver out and we can switch it. And so I took Luke Weaver out of this top loader so he could put the Mookie Betts in there, because I was afraid he was going to damage the card, because he was literally trying to just jam 2 cards into one top loader, and I was about to just absolutely lose my mind. So anyway, there it is, my Mookie Betts rookie 2014 Topps Update, blue parallel Walmart version. So that was my trip to the card show. They won't be back in my area until probably February or March, I think, is when it comes back again. So I hope you enjoyed watching my video. Give it a like or a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe if you'd like. I've actually picked up quite a few subscribers over the last couple weeks, which is awesome. I've just kind of been making these videos just for myself and just to kind of have it out there for anyone who would enjoy it. And it seems like some people have been enjoying my videos. So one more time, I appreciate all the love and all the support for people that have been watching and commenting and subscribing. Hope you have a good rest of your day, and be watching for the next couple days. I will open up this Bowman Draft Pack here maybe later on today or tomorrow, and I will post that video later on this week. So have a good day, and I'll talk to you later.